Okay, so now we have a question 4 plus 2x to the power 6 and we need to expand it till x to the power cube. Alright, so now let's start with this. So again, we will use the formula for the binomial expansion, that is a plus b to the power n, and we will write it as nc0 a to the power z a to the power n minus 0, and then b to the power 0 plus nc1 a to the power n minus 1 and b to the power 1 plus, and this will keep on continuing until we reach the x cube term. So we need to reach the x cube term, and for that we will start with our equation now. So let's write it down here. So 4 plus 2x to the power 6, right? So 4 plus 2x to the power 6, this will become 6c0. Now let's just figure out what is our a and what is our b. So as we can clearly see that this is my a and this is my b. So now we are going to use these numbers instead of a. So in place of a we will now write 4, and 4 n minus 0 means 6 minus 0, right? Then b is 2x, so 2x to the power 0, right? So this is going to be our first term. Now let's continue this further. So then the next term is going to be 6c1, and we will have 4. Then we're going to do 6 minus 1. So initially this was for 6c0, it was 6 minus 0. So now this is going to be 6 minus 1. And then this will be 2x to the power 1, right? So this has to be our second term. Now moving on to the third term, again this will be plus, now this will become 6c2, now 4 to the power 6 minus 2 and 2x to the power 2, right? This is going to be our third term. So then let's now do 6c3, 4 to the power 6 minus 3, and b is going to be 2x, so 2x, and the power is 3. Okay, now if you look carefully, you can clearly see that now we will get the x cube term, because here we have 2x cube, that will become 8x cube. So we will actually get the x cube term. So we will stop right here. Okay, so now we will stop right here, and let's now solve this. So let's do it by term. So now let's just put this first in the calculator. So now we need to put this in the calculator. So 6c is 0, 6c0 is 1, and 4 to the power 6 multiplied by 1. So this will become just 4 to the power 6. So this will be 4 to the power 6 plus 6c1, and now this will become 4 to the power 5 and 2x to the power 1 plus 6c2, 4 to the power 4, and 2x square plus 6c3 4 to the power 3 and 2x to the power 3, right? So now let's just solve this. So 4 to the power 6 is actually going to be 4096 plus, now let's just solve this. So in order to solve 6c1, you can directly input this into the calculator, but if you want to do it by the formula, this will become 6 into 5. In fact, it will just become 6 and we will divide it by 1 factorial. So 1 factorial is just 1. So this will become 6 upon 1 and you will get 6. So 6c1 is actually 6, right? So 6 multiplied by 4 to the power 5 multiplied by 2x. So what we are going to get is 12288x plus, now let's solve this term. So now for 62, what we are going to do for 62, that we will use this formula n minus 1, right? n minus 1, right? And this will be r factorial. So you will get the formula is 6 and 6 minus 1 is 5 divided by, the r is 2, so we will have 2 factorial, 2 multiplied by 1. So you can clearly check now that 2 and 6 will be cancelled out, we will get 3 and this will become 15. So 62 is going to be 15 and now we will multiply these terms. So you can just directly input this into the calculator and the answer will be 15360x square, right? Now let's look at this term. So again, you can directly solve 63 in the calculator or you can do it through the formula. And if I calculate this, this will become 10240x cube, right? So note one thing, that we can also expand it afterwards, but for the question we only need to expand it till x cube. So for this question we only need to expand this till x cube, so that is why we will not be solving it any further. So this has to be our complete answer.